We are back. Aaron, Ernest, flag on the culture. Aaron, how you doing, bro?
Man, Ness, can't complain, man. All is well. Flag on the culture, man. Bringing them another segment tonight, man. Got some topics, man. We got some heat for the streets, man. How you doing, Ness? How's everything going, man?
And I'm blessed, man. Blessed. Out here, just chilling, just living in China, bro, doing my thing. Um, I do want to share because I know it's New Year's. Things are starting to ramp down for football. Um, Basketball is about to take off. UFL is about to take off. Shout out to Indiana President Coach Cernetti should run for president. I'd say that we just witnessed the greatest 2 year turnaround in history, sports history. But for my DBs, man, I got something special for y'all. Doing something with our DB membership. Y'all be on the lookout for that, and for the coaches, the DB platform for you guys, the coaching program, also catering that for you guys, fixing that up. So you guys been on lookout very shortly on my social media. All right. So Aaron, you got anything, any announcement that you want to share?
Man, life is going good. We got a lot of great things coming, man. Um, Kind of move a little more private training, um, more specific to a lot of the kids within this area based of that want to actually succeed within the sport, that actually want to succeed in all sports at a high level. Um, I want to deal more with people who are looking to have more of a future rather than being how I've been the last 3 years. More so like a I don't look at it like that, but parents do. I look at it as a fitness program, a development program. Some parents look at it as a babysitting program, but kind of stepped away from those clients, and we kind of opening up to getting more able to use our resources a lot more for these kids that want to go deeper into the sport, regardless of whatever sport it is. We have a lot of resources in every sport, and if we don't, we know somebody who can definitely help you out. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, we moved to a little smaller private training. Nothing too big. We just not. We just kind of noticed we're not for everybody. Um, and there's nothing wrong with that. You gotta kind of notice that after a couple of years of growth, after a couple of years of understanding of where you go. Um, so yeah, that's just where we're looking at right now, man. Not easy broken fitness is, on the up and up. It's always on the up and up, especially when I'm in charge. So
Yeah. And let's hop into this, bro. Uh, First question, man. Um, this is a good one, bro. This is you know, football isn't ended for a lot of people, especially these high school, college guys. Were you ever afraid of losing your identity once the game was over?
um, I didn't realize it until after I was actually done, and then I was afraid. Um, so to answer the question, yes, I definitely was afraid. But I didn't think about it during the process because I had a goal of getting somewhere I wanted to be. You know what I'm saying? So as far as a person that I was identifying as, it was definitely a person that I always wanted to be looked at as. Um, so I was locked in on the person that I was. I was locked in on myself and the identity I was within that person I was creating for myself and within that person that God has created. Um, so once the game left, I definitely was afraid to lose my identity. That's why I definitely stay so close to it. And I mean my identity as a player, as far as things I did on the field that I can no longer show, regardless of film, regardless of tape or things like that. So, man, yeah, to answer the question, man, yes. It's not nothing that I necessarily thought about during the process. Because I mean, if you're thinking about that during the process, then you're not trusting the process. That's just how I feel about it. Um, but what you think about that, man? Like when you were you ever afraid of losing your identity?
So I I thought about this prior to me being done with football. I wasn't afraid, or um I wasn't afraid because I knew who I was, but I was afraid according to how the world saw me. And when I say the world, I'm talking about like the business or the work environment, right? Because as you know, as a being a football player or you play any sports, right? There is many characteristics that you build good, and you don't know how to articulate that in a business setting. But you have all these same traits as someone who has been working in the field for over 20 years. So when you take that into the business or the workforce and you try to go apply for the job, they always say, "Oh, you're not ready or you have no experience," but that's not true. Um, so no, I wasn't. And then at the same time, prior to me, of course, my career was cut short because of me having that stroke. I was already starting to train, so I was already moving to that next phase because I understood what I wanted to do prior to it being like officially taking over. So I wasn't afraid. I already knew the next steps going about it though. But when it came to the workforce, like man, I have to go get a job and I want these jobs. That's what I was more afraid of because how they see me, not because how I saw myself.
Yeah, man. I like that perspective. I like that perspective. It's actually it's not something that I had a different encounter. And sorry to hear that about the stroke, man. Um I just had a different encounter as far as uh like I said within my answer, right? I just it for me it was just something that I just couldn't think about before it was over with.
Hmm.
Thinking about the end before it's over with. Um for me that's just something I couldn't do, especially with something that I was passionate about. That's like getting in a marriage and thinking about the ending and it's supposed to last. You know what I'm saying? Like if you continue to think about the ending, it's going to end somewhere, somehow, sometime along that way, just because you're thinking about it. So, man, I like that. I like that perspective, man. I really do.
And I,
Um,
my,
man,
my dad,
go ahead.
my dad always told me, my dad always told me like Ernest, you gotta always have a plan B, and I was like, man, when football you can't, but I understood once I got older, it's okay to have a plan as a contingent plan just in case if it don't work out, so you're not completely lost. And people like, man, if I think like that, it ain't gonna work out. That's not necessarily true. If you focus on that, that's the difference. If you plan though and like just in case, um, you know, it's not as much of a drawback or a withdrawal so much compared to um, if you don't think at all. And then think of this as well. When are you ever when are you ever going to be that hot again? We talked about it in foot, especially in football. A stadium, if it gets full, even if it doesn't, let's just say it's 5,000 people come to the game, 5,000 to 90,000. When will anybody else know your name like that? That's the best time to be moving because you got all the attention
Hmm.
on you.
Yeah.
As soon as you done or you retired, whatever, they don't know you no more. So you better you better strike when it's hot. Better strike when it's hot.
Hmm.
Just to get some insight for those who will come up across these situations.
Yeah, man. What you think about man, I was just kind of irritated, man, at the playoffs, man, at the NFL playoffs. And and my frustration, bro, came from the additional weeks that were added, I believe, a couple years ago. Um, I think the NFLPA, the Players Association, reached out and they said they didn't want to have an extra game um, from our side as players. Like we said, we didn't want to have an extra game due to reasons that we are seeing now on live television. with these playoffs and all this stuff going on. And um, man, do you think the extension of weeks in the NFL are the reason we are seeing more injuries occur later in the season and going into the postseason?
It could be. I think it's a lot. I think first of all, the players don't practice as much as they used to. Um, I believe it's a lot more sitting down, a lot of more visual stuff, which is okay. I mean, as a football player, I would love that. But now you go from sitting to now we gotta ramp up right away and get going. And then, of course, if you add in weeks, we talked about it in arena football. We played 18 weeks on man on that small field. That's tough. Nobody finished like every week. There's a different lineup. I'm just talking on defense, right? So I can only imagine an
Hmm.
18-week season in the NFL, and you got short weeks. You guys play on Monday, then you got to play on Sunday, then a Thursday. Man, all these things. So definitely it plays a factor, and you know, the NFL owners and players are hopeful they can work this out because the big thing was that the additional week as well. The owners did not want to pay the players that additional week, so they were still getting paid for a 17 games regular season. So I believe they worked that out though. But yeah, it definitely plays a factor in it though.
Yeah, that's
What's your
just
thought?
unfortunate, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think it's unfortunate, man, because we're humans, bro. And they gotta understand like they're not robots. They're not they got equipment on, bro. And they got equipment on for half of the year. Majority of the year, in hopes of it to protect your body, not having an understanding how much it's weighing down on your body.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So um I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm against it. I don't think that I think we see I think it's more excitement with shorter weeks. Um Now if you ask me, I think they give people like the UFL an extra week. You allow their season to maybe start a little sooner. You get what I'm saying? So now football, and I know they're both different businesses. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying for a turnover rate for maybe ESPN or whatever broadcasting network is hosting them, um, for a good rate of turnover, bro. I think that you give them an additional game or something like that, just so we aren't waiting so long for another football season to maybe start. But I don't think you add another game and then go through negotiations about paying somebody for a last game when you out here going to war, going to battle. Um, and then truth be told, while your body has been beat up through 16 and 17 weeks, 15 weeks, let's just say that, you make it to the postseason, you're trying to push your body to a point that it's never been all season. Regardless if, like you said, you're sitting down, regardless if it's only a visual type thing. Now you are pushing your body two times harder because you're playing two times harder. Like your efforts are a lot more. Who doesn't want to be a Super Bowl champion? Who doesn't want to win a divisional championship? You know what I'm saying? So there might be I don't like it, but there's definitely I'm glad the players were able to negotiate to get paid that last game. I mean that last week of that season. But ultimately, I just think it's overbearing on their bodies, man. And I think people who can announce the game, you can announce all year without having an injury, without
Hmm.
having a sore throat. Can you get out there on that field and play every single game for 18 weeks and not have an injury, not have a ache, not have a sickness, not have something? So they just have to have a more broad perspective that um they are watching people go to war, but at a point in time, it does get kind of, it does get it does become kind of like obvious that you kind of like watching guys run into each other and stuff like that. But for the most part, man, I don't like it. I'm against it, bro. It's not something that I would even. recommend, think about, or I don't even know how it came about, bro. I know it's money, but what I'm saying is who came up with this idea? Like to
So,
even have a, it had to
I,
be somebody who didn't play. It had to
of
be
course.
somebody who ain't went through the trenches, bro. Because for you to throw that tag, for you to throw an extra game on somebody and then make it feel like it's something else by sending them overseas or doing something like that, like it's just, bro,
Oh
it's
yeah,
bogus.
it's
I don't
definitely
like
for
it,
the
man.
money. I got a suggestion. If coaches will sit down players just like they do in the NBA. So my coach, I knew he did it. He didn't necessarily specifically say it, but we knew what he was doing. So if you was a starter and we was playing somebody in arena, you know, if you don't dress, you don't get a full game check. So your check is your check is not that good. So if we were playing somebody who he thought we would dominate, and the starter had an injury, he would sit us down. Even though we definitely could play, he would sit us down so that other dude, first of all, he can get reps, he can get film, and he also get a full check. And at the same time, we get to rest our body. They should start doing that in the NFL. So if you know, let's say for instance, Denver, right? They was battling throughout the whole year and they had key players who they felt like they was banged up. Just sit them down and let the other guy get some run. And you know, don't know. And I know the NFL does this, but we talking about on a broader scale. Like, hey, he's kind of nicked up. Patrick Mahomes, like his ankle rolled. We gonna sit him down for 3 additional weeks, right? And regardless of what happens, it is what it is. Uh, and then you know we bring him back. But to do that at scale for all teams, you know, I think it would be an outcry from the fans, but I think that will fix it because if they want to keep extending these games, these and shorter weeks, I think it'd be better for the players. But you know, they don't care about the players; they only want to entertainment aspect. But that's something I suggest.
No, but do you know how much you would get out of, like, do you know how much more you would get out of the players making a season 16 weeks?
Well, they was there. I mean, it's the same. It's the same, honestly. I mean, because the thing is, the thing is,
No, it's a difference between you being in shape. It's a difference between 2 weeks and the season about to be over, and we got another 2 weeks.
I mean, I agree, but we also gonna have, and that's another thing. Do you train? Did people change their training based off that additional week? Because you know, there's some guys who've been in the league for 6 years, 10 years, right, and they have a routine. You might need to start a little earlier or go a little later, right? Or change something in your training to endure the extra week, especially in the postseason. So, you know, you can, like I said, it definitely contributes to it, but there's so many factors that do contribute to people just getting injured, man. It's very unfortunate. It's a physical game, and especially how they have changed how you have to tackle. So honestly, I'd rather you hit me in my shoulders, my head, rather than going toward my lower body. So you know, it's so many things that can be a factor in everybody getting hurt.
Yeah, man, they got the wear and tear on Madden, and they got the wear and tear on this NCAA, the video game, man. I would like to see the wear and tear on these players through like an X-ray machine, and I guarantee everybody gonna have all red. They gonna be bruised and tore up, not ready to. I mean, ready, but just having to force their bodies in different positions in different ways. They don't have. They shouldn't have to.
Oh, you brought up a good. So you brought up something. I just saw some on social media. You tell me this. I want to get your opinion on this. Do you think because there was a video, there was a lady taking her husband, I guess playing the NFL, to the hospital, and he can't walk no more, an older gentleman, and he can't walk, and it's like we didn't expect this from football. Do you think that players, former players who no longer can walk, who no longer can function in society outside of football, sue the NFL for how they are now?
Me being in that predicament, yes. Me
And
speaking
why?
from an outside perspective, That's negotiable. We can negotiate that because if you don't report those injuries during that time, then that seems like maybe a scam later on years if you're now saying all this is broken up. So, I mean, I just feel like you report those injuries early, the injuries that you may believe that have reoccurring, like reoccurring feelings to your body or things like that. I personally feel like you do. Yes.
And see, my take on it, I don't think you should sue because you knew what you were signing up for. Like nobody made you. You could have turned this down. You could have turned away from football. Like, nah, I'm not doing this. Or even because it's inherent. You've been playing football at a young age. If you never made it to the NFL, you got hurt. You would have to deal with the ramifications of your decisions by playing football. So because you can no longer
Yeah,
walk
I'm
or
going after this business thing. This
yeah,
business got me employed.
if you can no longer walk it, I think that's your decision, and it's like you knew what you was getting into. Now, if somebody force you to play or something like that, which once again nobody can do that, they're under complete pressure on you, and you are already injured, that's a different scenario. But because your body is all broke up due to football, I don't think you should be able to sue. I don't think that's right. That's like working in the mines and you got some type of cancer later on down the line. It's they told you it's a possibility because you working down here. We don't know what gases you dealing with. So, you know, that
Yeah.
is and they pay you for that too. They like, man, it's hazard pay. We don't know, but it's hazard pay just in case.
If they give you that, then if they give you that off the strip, I understand. If they give you hazard pay for the league, I mean, I understand. But if you ain't getting no hazard pay, I'm gonna
I
need my
mean,
hazard pay after.
let let's be real. You getting paid, and we're saying it's a game. You getting paid to play a child's game. If we played in other leagues, they're not paying you that much. So if you make it to the NFL and you already getting paid like that, that's hazard pay already. You get millions,
I
let
don't know
alone.
how some look at it.
I mean, that's why some people step away from the game. I mean, they understand it. I know people personally. They be like, you know what? It ain't worth it. And that's totally up to them. There was a linebacker for the 49ers, I think, like 5 years ago. He was balling and he was like, you know what, I'm retiring. He said, I had concussions and I don't want to risk my body. So I mean people do it, but you decide you want to play for however long. It's very unfortunate. I saw what's his name, the running back for the Houston Oilers, Campbell. I saw him at the airport in a wheelchair. Can't get up. Everybody coming up to congratulate him and say how man he can't move, cannot walk. That's the way he played, and it's unfortunate. People know him, but
Yeah, I always want to at least be able to look like I broke the record.
he said at least look like it.
So that's me talking to God out loud. Don't give me no crutches and don't put me in no chair, man. I want to
Yeah,
always look like I didn't at least out because nobody's breaking a record, bro. And I'm not saying it from a cocky perspective or anything like that. It's just what I did to do that. The person that did it before me did it in 4 years.
yep, you did it in one.
So
I,
man,
I
I'm
think
not.
that's more important. I think it's the time in which you do things. Like for me, in that perspective, right? If I broke some records in 2 years, I think I'll be done. Like broke a record and won a championship, I think I can be done. Now though, me knowing what I know now, in that time I wouldn't be thinking of that. But just knowing now, like man, I broke this record. I won a championship. I broke this record. Oh, it's time to go. I'm done.
Oh yeah, man. I think I didn't been I've gotten to places where some people won't even get to. I don't care what level. It's hard to win a championship at any level.
Mm-hmm.
So, let alone break a record. So I know records is made to be broken, but man, good luck to that next person that's waking up at 4 hours before practice, and or just good luck to a person that's naturally gifted. You know what I'm saying? I don't. When I become a coach over there, I might get one, but until then, I just feel like I always got to be able to use these legs. I don't care if it's only to walk across the street or walk outside.
Yep.
Gotta be able. I cannot be in a wheelchair, man.
Right.
That's why I gotta take better care of my back, man. My back been sore. That car accident got me a little laid back, a
Mm-hmm.
little sore. He was
Gotta
telling me
take care
about
of
my
your
neck.
body.
I'm like, yeah, bro, my neck is a little.
You gotta take care of that body. You only get one. Talking about
You
talent, man. We just saw the NCAA. We just saw the championship game. Shout out again once again to Indiana, Miami on that amazing
Shout out
game.
to Indiana, man.
Is talent
Shout out to
more than
Fernando Mendoza.
yeah? Is talent more important than culture, team culture? And what I mean by that, like, there's a lot of guys, but oh, I'm better than this person, right? Um, but a talented individual may have bad habits, might have do like don't show up on time, just doing terrible stuff. You know what talent does, and this is not everybody, right? Um, but is grabbing the people with the best talent better than culture for teams?
So to answer that question, and then I'll go back to answer is talent more important than culture? Um, man, that's a hat trick, right? I mean, not a hat trick. That's like picking out of a hat right there. Um, because you don't necessarily know what you're gonna get out of a player. Um, for me, I never thought I was bigger than the program. I just knew I was always better than people within the program. So I never put myself above the coaches, and that was just out of respect. And I didn't think that I knew more than them, if that made sense. Regardless if they jumped off into coaching, if anything like that. I just think having that coaching authoritative title allowed me to respect you as a coach. So it gave me a understanding of respect. But I think, bro, like for me, I just I feel like they go together. I feel like they have differences, but they also go together, bro. Um, but then the answer is talent more important than I mean is talent more important than culture? I would say talent is short term. Um, that leads to egos, like you said, inconsistent flashes. Um, you got a person that's good on paper, bad in reality. What is it? What they not a high risk, high reward. And that's just with the talent part. I think with the culture part, um, that's where the togethership comes in, bro. Like I think that's where the togethership comes in. So is talent better than culture? Um, I'm kind of like in the middle. I'm like you need both. You need talent and you need the culture to go both together. But you got to understand how to assess the talent while also implementing the culture that you want.
Hmm.
So with team culture, I think that gets you winning seasons, championships. Um, it allows you to have that Kurt Signetti feeling to where you kind of set standards when nobody's watching, and then you kind of blow up on people when they are watching. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's with the culture. But to answer the question, I think you need both. You need talent and culture. Um, on both ends. From a coaching perspective, you got to be talented enough to coach talented kids. You got to be talented enough to allow everybody to respond in a positive way around the room. As a player, you got to be talented enough to fit within the culture. Um, you have to be, and talent isn't just like your physical abilities. Talents have to do with your mentality and all that type of stuff, your mental, things like that. So that's my perspective on what I think it is, bro. Like I think you need both. I personally think you need both. Um, and I think I gave my differences in between what benefits you could get if you had both. Like if you had just talent, or if you had culture over talent. Then I kind of think I kind of brought them all together. So, what's your opinion on that, bro? What's your I know that's something that you kind of big on, bro.
I think, and I'll give some examples. I think that culture is more important than talent. Of course, you need both, but just to define what culture is how everybody thinks, how everybody moves, and it starts from the top on down through players and the staff. And if everybody is one, right, then you can do amazing things. Prime example, Indiana. Another example is De La Salle. De La Salle has the longest win streak, or they did in California. I don't know what it is now. They had the longest win streak in California history. If you watch De La Salle, they teams, they was undersized linemen, and they ran like a wing tee or whatnot, or some type of run. You can't do that if you don't have that culture. But everybody bought in. So, and we said this before, in Pasadena, in our league, um, there was incidents where Pasadena or PHS or Mir never won the league, and we have the most talent out of all those teams. If the culture's not right, you're not going to win. It doesn't matter how much talent you have. Miami, clear cut, was a more talented team than Indiana. They didn't win the game. You probably play that game 10 times, Miami probably will win um, more than once, but that day they did not win. That culture had Indiana win that game, how it's set up. So on the back end of it though, your culture can be based all on talent, and it can be dysfunctional. It can be everybody's doing their own thing, and you don't win. I remember in high school, they they always talked about we need to be a unison. When we won our championship at Mount Sac, we was kind of divided. It was offense worried about offense, defense worried about defense. And people are like, oh, you can't win that way. I've seen different cultures win where everybody had a
Hey,
relationship, great relationship with
that's the
everybody.
standard. I,
Yeah.
yeah,
I won championships where
standard.
I've been places where everybody knew everybody, and it was a good relationship and we had success. I also been where, man, you guys take care of y'all business. We're gonna handle our business over here. Um, and I knew the people on offense, but I really didn't hang out with them. You feel me? It was more so we look after our own. So it depends on the culture, but I think culture is definitely more important than talent, because talent can definitely disrupt the culture that you have and mess up your culture. So definitely think culture is more important than
It's
talent
8 o'clock.
at the end of the day.
Yeah, I like that you said that about Sac Dogs too, because Mount Sac, uh, for the simple fact that, man, I when you said that, I realized that, but I also noticed, um, I noticed like how close I was with the offensive guys, but I noticed how when it was game day, like I totally forgot about offense. Like truth be told, I think that's where I got the mentality of like watching punts. Like I didn't care about first, second, or third down. I just looked up and seen it was fourth down, and I knew it was our time to go. Or if the defense got a turnover, I knew it was our time to go. You know what I'm saying? So, um, that's how it was like when the game got started, bro. And truth be told, I think you can win more like that because from a coaching perspective, you have less to worry about and more to focus on. If that makes sense, you know what I'm saying? Like you're not necessarily worried about a guy running a lazy route, even though you just seen him run a lazy route. So now, if you think it's your responsibility to get on this guy, to get on this offensive guy, and you're a defensive coach, how do you think that offensive coach is gonna feel when he sees a defensive guy miss a tackle. You know what I'm saying? So it definitely is about culture, man. And I think like having a culture like that, rather it's just you figuring out the culture. It's just you really ultimately figuring out the culture. You can assess the talent later. You can assess the talent later. You can always put pieces of the puzzle together that work. You can always find new pieces to the puzzle.
Yep, definitely.
So that's just that's just my basis on it, man. I think that was just my basis on it. I remember last week we was gonna have a video on, but I know we wasn't able to get to it. So let's go on and hop into the next topic, man. I know you had a video for us.
Well, this one's not a video. This is just a Twitter. I'll bring it up. We're gonna not show his name though.
I mean the tweet, whatever they call it.
Yeah. So I think this is funny to me. It says just because you beat a kid with a D1 offer when you lined up against him during the season or a camp doesn't make you a D1 prospect. Bro, what is your thoughts? What is your thoughts on that?
Man, every punk has his day. If you go to a camp, first off, yeah, yes, he's right. That don't mean you can compete with D1 guys just because you go. Let me tell you straight out. You might have some D1 guys that's cocky and they might just show up to a camp because somebody told them, but Friday night they was out drinking or hanging out with their friends or doing irresponsible stuff. They just showing up just to run through the motions, and you just so happen to lock them up. You think they think about you locking them up? No, but I guarantee you thinking about who you locked up and how much clout you think you're gonna get off of this, and that doesn't matter, bro. That doesn't matter. I've locked up some of the best receivers in the NFL. You think they'll ever know me in the NFL? You think I will ever have fans from Detroit Lions? You think I will ever have fans from the Cardinals? And so I could care less about that. So I think yeah, man, that's I don't know what that is, number one, because yeah, I don't know what that is. That's just a shout out to the kid that went to the camp and locked up the D1 dude that didn't have no offers. And now his confidence is boosted through the roof. No telling what type of season he might have. But you still got some work to do, player.
Yeah,
What you think, man? What you think about that? What you think about that? I don't. I
that
just think
that's
you.
tough.
I agree with it.
I think that's tough. I think that's tough. Because if you do it, like I said, if you do it for one rep, you can't tell. If you do it for the whole game, I don't understand why you're not. And once again, we are going off of just because you're not in NFL, right? And this is people, right? If you're not in NFL and you're playing again, or you going against somebody in NFL, you lock them up. You're not NFL caliber. Well, why not? This guy is. He is. He's at this place, and it's clearly been said that hey, I can do this, and he's unguardable. But I just multiple times, right? And of course, playing DB, you gonna win. They gonna win. Thing is, majority of the time. I don't agree on this. I don't agree on it. And I can just go off my own. Me personally, I have never went against somebody I was like, man, he is unguardable. Like in my life, I have not come across that person ever in my life. So to say if I do guard somebody and not even me, let's say if a kid guards someone and he shuts them down for the game for a couple of reps, you're saying he's not on that same level? Are you now? This question is: are you going off of measurements now? Is that what you're going off of? We just saw a 5'9" corner who played for Indiana had one of the best seasons, but we had the and I just mentioned it to somebody. We also had a corner from Utah Utes. who was the #1 DB, I want to say 3 years ago now, 4 years ago. He went drafted in the 5th round, but he was the #1 rated corner. How is that the case? You feel me? So I think it's more people who discredit. I think it's more coaches and more people on the sidelines who discredit what you did against competition rather than just watching the film and evaluating it from there. They always say the eye in the sky don't lie. So why are you discounting what I did against this person if they're supposed to be D1? Do I think everybody's a D1 talent? No, but for the majority, if I do this against somebody and my tape speaks it,
I need some consideration.
on the same level. Yeah, closer on the same level. So, yeah, I mean, to each his own, man. But yeah, I don't think it's. I don't. We talked about it. What else can you do? What else can you do if I'm a D lineman? This tackle is supposed to be got multiple offers, and I get 2 sacks on him. On him. Oh, he just had a bad game. Why you don't get no credit? Why you don't?
Yeah, they start trying to find excuses.
I don't understand that. He didn't give up no sacks all year, but against this person, he gave up 2 sacks. Oh yeah, man. We're not even gonna check him out. He just had a bad game. Man, come on, bro. Y'all keep moving this the field goal, the goalpost, man. Stop it. And me personally, when I played against somebody who was like that, I had my best games because it's like, all right, this is who they say is it. Let's see. Yeah, man. I think it's.
Let me tell you a little story, man. I was at Mount Sac. We played a team, and the same day we played the team, USC offered the dude. Same day, same morning. Offer him to end the game with 1 catch, 1 yard.
So that tells you they was already interested.
Hey, I could care less about any of that hype, anything like that, man. Like, I can care less about any of that hype stuff, man. 60 minutes is a football game. 1 catch for 1 yard, that says a lot about somebody who just got offered to a premier Division I school and committed there and signed there and went there and actually played there.
Man, you see they ain't won nothing. No, they ain't won nothing. They continue to.
Well, man, shoot, I'm just saying, though, if y'all let me in there, we could win a little something. You feel me? I didn't lock up 2 of y'all receivers. Y'all took the same year, USC. The same year I played those two guys both signed to USC. There's no reason I shouldn't have got a PWO. I should have for sure got something like, man, you had 4 catches. He didn't even have, I don't even think the dude from Long Beach had a catch. I'm not even 100% sure. Oh, yeah, he did have some catches. He was tearing Wardell up in the beginning. But when I was on him, no catches. I had an interception on him. The other dude, San Jose State. So for me, I just have an understanding that all that is hype. I feel like if that's how I'm going to coach, that's where I'm going to find my gym. That's how you find your gyms. That's exactly how you find your gyms. Now, do you care to develop or do you care about the hype? That's what's going to get you in the room. If the coaching staff don't care to develop you, they don't care. You see, they don't even look at what kind of game I had. They want players that's ready to go size-wise, that they don't have to, you know what I'm saying, implement, give no extra food to. Because I definitely was one of them. You gonna have to feed me a little extra when I got on campus.
Had to. So,
man, I just feel like, man, I like that, man.
What you just brought up, bro, we gotta follow up with it because our video that we got that definitely goes in to what you discussing. Nick Saban, talking out his mouth, right? But let's play this video.
We never ever looked, and I know SIG doesn't either, at how many stars a guy has. Because I think what you all need to do is look at who's giving out the stars.
No! Yeah.
They don't know they're asking for a handful of sand when it comes to what a football player is. So why would you as a coach depend on somebody who's not even a coach evaluating players to give them stars. You know, I say all the time, Josh Jacobs had no stars. Damien Harris was a 5-star. They were both really good players, don't get me wrong, but Josh Jacobs was a first-round draft pick and Damien Harris was a third round. Josh Jacobs still playing, Damien Harris is not. So when you evaluate the players on your own in terms of the criteria of what you're looking for at each position that fit in your system and the criteria of the kind of people you want to make the culture of your team what it is, which I think SIG has done a fantastic job of, because it's culture over system. I mean, if you don't have a good culture, you're never going to execute the system no matter how good it is. So that's what they've done such a great job of at Indiana.
So, what's your take on the whole stars conversation that he just shared?
Man, we was just talking about something similar to that. For me, is I'm not going at what he's saying. I'm going at the discussion. I wasn't a high-rated player, bro, but I'm very good at what I do. I think you definitely have to look at those people. I got a message right now on my phone, bro, with some of the guys who give the guys stars. I got a message directly on my phone right now. I'll show you. He says, "Don't send me no sorry guys, or you probably won't get responded to. Don't send me guys who can't invest into themselves. You probably won't get responded to." So this is a money game for the guys on the side. Like I got some pretty good resources to where I can kind of have an understanding what Saban is saying. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm dealing with the people who give the kids the stars. You get what I'm saying? Like I literally deal with them. I deal with them almost on not on a day-to-day basis, but like in a month, maybe we talking about 3 or 4 times a month. So I think it is about the guys who are giving stars, man. I think when they had a guy from Utah who was a 5-star, and a 5-star is something that everybody comes out and sees, and that kind of blows it off the Richter scale, right? That's what we would believe, right? That's what we're entitled to believe, that you have those 5 stars, right? But I never seen any 5-star plays out of this kid. Never in game to help his team win when it was time, when it was clutch moments, regardless of what kind of quarterback you had. Your quarterback did not have you on his mind every single play. It was a pass play. And you're a 5-star, supposed to be the best in the state, town, or whatever it is. So for me, I don't give a damn about stars, bro. All that star crap is star-studded, because like he just said, Josh Jacobs is still in the league and the other guy is not in the league. So all that stuff don't matter to me. I honestly think it's a money game, bro. Just think about how much money these guys at 247 Sports are making from giving a guy a star. Just think about how much a parent think they're investing in their kid when they pay a guy $1,000 to get a 247 profile, or however much, $10,000 to get a 247 profile or a rival's profile, and now to be known to the internet, but not necessarily a dominance on his team. I'm in agreement with I'm not necessarily in agreement. I don't care about stars, bro. Forget that.
We
What you think?
talked about this.
I wasn't. Yeah.
We talked about this. Who are these people and how they stamping people? But their business model. It's a great business model. I said, hey man, if they got people, what is messed up is the coaches who don't do their own evaluation. They're so lazy and they want to go off this stuff. I know people personally. Everybody, man, we got to have somebody who officially, get their measurements. So when they have a star, we know those things are accurate. Those stars don't mean nothing, bro. Like we need to stop this, and we need to. So this is where the issue lies. Now this is gonna hurt some coaches' feelings. They can't evaluate. They don't believe their own self. So that's why they have to rely on somebody else. And therefore, Therefore, if they also rely on somebody else when it don't work out, they can say, "Oh, it wasn't my fault, and I don't have to take the responsibility." They was rated this high. Of course, you take the highest rated person. Therefore, if it don't work out, you know what? We just missed. We'll get somebody else. But if they got somebody who wasn't ranked or who wasn't highly ranked and it doesn't work out, most likely they'll probably lose their job. So it's more so them being comfortable with choosing the people who are deemed already verified that they're this talented, rather than believing their own eyes and things of that sort. So and then, to go off with Saban and just for Damien Harris and Josh Jacobs, I think those are two different scenarios though as well, because Damien Harris also had a great, a great career as well, but he also playing for the Patriots. Patriots winning. Josh Jacobs was playing for the Raiders, and he plays for the Packers. He was the main focal point. I think they're definitely both good. Like you said, one's still out of the league, but you can't just say, "Oh, the production wasn't." They both were definitely productive. One career just played out a little different because of the scenario what they was put in. If
But
I
I
don't,
look at it like this, though. I look at it like this, like, I think with you being a 5-star, you kind of got like tired of the game faster than somebody who didn't have stars. Because your opportunity you was always itching and scratching for opportunities. So that's where I think the longevity comes in at, regardless of body, regardless of age and things like that. I think the will to want came in because he was more so. I think the comfortability came in of not necessarily comfortability, but like I'm good. Like I've been a 5-star. I won a championship. I won. Did he know? I've won it. I played at the highest level. This. I did this. I did that. So his personal accomplishments might have nothing to do with what Nick Saban is saying and his longevity in the league. So he might have had a goal to play in the league for a certain amount of time and say, get out. He might have had a goal to be a 5-star, go to Alabama or go wherever he went, or play 4 or 5 years in the league. That
and
might
then
have
look,
been his goal. But what I'm saying,
and then I'm
go
just going off just these two players. So Damien Harris started and Josh Jacobs didn't. Once again, nobody was saying that Josh Jacobs was not good, but NFL guys were wowed at his ability, and he wasn't the starter because he did a kick return and he had like some explosive plays. Once again, who is to say that Damian Harrison or Harris wasn't? I'm not saying he's better. We don't, like I said, every situation is different. But who is to say that, right, that Josh Jacobs wasn't better than him, and that's why he didn't play? But at the same time, Josh Jacobs even said, he's like, bro, look who's in front of me. He's like, I had to earn those reps. Like you said, willpower and everything. But we can't use situational dudes based off of stars. Everybody's a little different. Situations
yeah,
pan out.
yeah, that's what I was saying. Stars don't matter to me. Shit, I don't care about stars. So it's like to address it, I don't care about stars. Stars don't mean nothing to me. I honestly think you look at the person that doesn't have the stars, that just gave the person with the stars stars.
And let's be honest. Who has Nick Saban ever recruited at Alabama that was a 2 or a 3-star? I don't know. I'm asking a question. So, did he ever offer somebody and they bumped up? Did he ever offer somebody who wasn't a star at all? I don't know. So you feel me? I definitely agree. But this is where it falls on the coaches. I'm not giving out the people they doing their business. They found a niche. Yeah, they found a niche. Go ahead and do it. The coaches is the ones who falling for this, and they're gonna keep getting fired. So that's on them. They want to keep falling for it.
Yep, they're gonna keep falling into the trap, but that's what keeps the business going.
That's
Thinking
why you're
that,
gonna keep.
but bringing in a 5-star could get you an additional 50K. I ain't in the system, but I think that's how a system might work.
No, that's true. And then they get released, and it's a wrap.
Yep,
It's a
get
wrap.
that 50K for years now. Go get it again. I'm not with the star stuff, man. I'm not with the star stuff. Mm-mm. Yeah, I'm not with the star stuff, man. Man, the portal's over with. No more. They didn't close the last window to the portal, man. So some kids got blessed, some kids didn't get blessed, man. How do you think? Just overall basis. What do you think? Like I looked at it, bro. It was 4,500 athletes, D1 athletes in the portal. D1, like not D1 AA, not D. Like it was 4,500 athletes in the portal, bro, from D1. What do you think about like out of 4,500 athletes, hypothetically speaking and thinking, how many guys do you think landed at a for sure spot on full scholarships?
Mm. Oh,
Because 4,500 guys were in a position where they were I want to say, already on full scholarship or trying to get a full scholarship at another university.
yeah, I don't know. That whole thing is tricky, bro. That whole thing is tricky.
Yeah,
What you think?
it's pretty weird, man. It's pretty weird just having that many kids in the portal. I just think it doesn't. I don't know, bro. They gotta do some. They gotta do some reconstructing of that stuff, bro. Because that's ridiculous that these kids are just chasing money now, bro. I don't like that.
I think that's once again that's what the media is trying to push. I think more kids are getting cut, told you gotta leave. And I think the receiver, the white boy receiver from Texas, who then signed, I think he signed with Texas A&M. He said he was cut because the dude from Auburn left, and Texas signed him. I think that's happening more so than anything, but nobody's going to talk about
Oh,
that.
they doing the Deion Sanders. They bringing their luggage.
Yeah, so nobody. I don't believe kids are just everybody. First of all, everybody is not that player to get paid. So I think that's going on. Is that happening more though than people getting cut? I saw people when I played, coaches was cutting dudes their scholarships, and it had nothing to do with money. They're like, man, you not doing nothing here. We're gonna take your scholarship. So come on, man. If you talking about a player not doing something, it's like, man, we don't need you no more. Get in the portal. Now, I heard this. I heard that there should be like a waiver thing. As soon as a player hits the portal, it goes to everybody though. Not only it like because I know coaches they can see who's in there, but you get
Yeah,
a
I think
note.
it should go to every. Yeah,
It gets a notification of it goes out to everybody rather than oh you just check because
social media.
yeah because some players are not, people don't know they in there unless they start reaching out because there's so many people going there every day. But if you got something like you get a notification like, all right, these are players that went in today, like you actually get the notification. Just like in NFL, if a guy get cut or they're on a waiver or something like that. So I think that needs to
Man,
be put in place.
we should set up a business. We should set up a little business for that.
Yeah. So
It's
I
hard.
want to this tweet right here. They said this is the New York Times, right? They said here's the cost of doing business this year and just in the portal alone. You see the quarterbacks getting 1 million for, offensive lineman 600 K to 1.3, running backs 400 to 900K, receivers got 500K to a million, tight ends not so much, edge rushers 500K to 2 million. Ooh, let's get the corners, man. The DBs 250 to a million, 250 to 900,000. Uh, what's your thoughts on these numbers, bro? Just for the portal this year, bro. What's your thoughts on that? Those numbers.
Man, bring that back up, please. Could you? Number one, I think it's different when you get to the NFL versus the college, because I think corners get paid more. So that's just a biased opinion. My bad. That is bogus. Uh, it's a different game, man. It is a different game, bro. I'm staying in college for all 4 years. If I was in COVID, I'm staying in college for 6 years. I'm
And you
doing
know.
this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing this. These are crazy numbers, bro. These are very, very, very crazy numbers. Not crazy numbers. What makes these kids worth? What makes these kids worth? What makes these young kids worth million $1 million in college?
You want to know the answer?
Yes.
Based off what is being brought in. So that's how much money is generated, and they get a piece of the pie. So everybody thinking like, oh, this is absurd. How much is the school bringing in? Nobody's asking that question.
Yeah, but that is that for all over? Like, so for all the schools, y'all bringing in 250,000 to $1 million only to pay corners?
Bro, that's what they say. I doubt they're getting. So if let's just imagine, let's say you paid a starting 11. Let's say you paid the whole starting 11, and it was close to those numbers. You are paying out probably just from there, just that starting 11, close to, let's just say, 5 million. How much, and you also paying backup guys, how much is the school making? And that's what people are not realizing. You only can share money with people based off how profitable you profitable. So if me and you did a business and I'm the owner and you getting paid $50 an hour, you black, I gotta be making something. I may not be making, because labor is the most, but I gotta be able to be making something in order to pay you. So now
Yeah.
if you getting paid $1,000 an hour, how much am I making?
Right.
You feel me? That's why the player, it has nothing to do with the value of the player. That's how much the school is making.
Mm.
We keep
So
thinking, oh, is they worth it? It ain't got nothing to do with is he worth it? How much are you making compared to how much I'm getting paid?
so now it's really a business. Like, how much is this player making how much is this player, like how many of these fans are here to see just this player?
Not even that. How much can he help me win to bring in more people, sell more tickets, sell more
Get
jerseys?
more tickets, yeah. How many more people can we put in these seats? If
I
we
mean,
selling seats,
come on now. Now you thinking. Everybody talking about, oh, a kid ain't worth it. What are you talking about? It ain't got nothing to do with it. It is going based off how much the institution is making at it for itself. That's why they're able to pay that money. Because let's be honest. If the school was only making like 100,000 or something like that, the range would probably be like between 3,000, 300 to 5,000. That's not
financial
the
aid, we
case.
talking about a Pell Grant.
You feel me? That's not the case. They making billions of dollars. So when everybody coming up with these excuses like, oh man, these kids are getting paid, this is absurd. How much is this? How much and how long have the schools been making off of these kids for years? For years.
Yeah, now they like, you know what, we could get him a little something. We could open up the safe.
Man, and people talking about they NIL, it just must. If we have been, I don't know how long college football been, but it's been amateur. Nobody's been getting paid. Each college program, regardless if you D1, D2, D3, regardless, you should have a surplus because you haven't had to pay players. You should have money stashed away just in case. So I wouldn't be surprised if some schools they haven't even spent the money they keep generating because you ain't paid nobody for years, no players.
Right, but shoot, they putting that money in a different programs on campus, in the different buildings on campus.
They can, but the thing is, we know nobody else, soccer not getting paid, all these other stuff.
Right.
So they can do that. The thing is, they still have. We know football and basketball pays for everybody else. We know that it ain't paying for everything though, because once I get this up, 3 years, my money keeps stacking again. I'm gonna make another building. That's fine. At the end of the day, I still don't need to pay no players. I don't need to pay nobody for soccer. I don't need to pay nobody for baseball.
Right.
I don't need to pay no golf. If anything, I'm gonna cut these programs now.
So we can save. Yeah, y'all need to have a gold safe somewhere. They need to have the gold winnings back there.
Yeah, and I want to know this, since they bring in college football, the girls' college football, flag football to the game. Are they gonna make their own stadiums, or are they gonna play in the stadiums themselves? That'd be interesting right there. Are you gonna create another stadium on campus, or y'all gonna play at the parks? Play at the park.
I think they should create a smaller stadium, bro. But
We gonna see
honestly,
if they do it.
too, because a lot of them will use the practice facilities.
All right. Does the practice facilities allow fans to come watch the games?
They're gonna figure that out, because this sport is growing. They finna figure that out. They finna rent some bleachers. They're about to figure it out. They about to figure it out. They about to get some fans and seats for these games. And trust and believe, they about to start, now that they got them in college, bro. They about to start doing contracts, bro.
Yeah,
they about to start doing contracts with ESPN and all that. Man, it's about to be on, bro. I can't wait. Right now is the best time to get into a college system and try to be a head flag football coach.
Man, they
You'll be the most winningest coach in history if you don't lose. You can set some historical records in this first year of flag football. So I pray to God open the door for me, man, to get in and be a flag football coach, just so I can say I was a part of the
first
inauguration.
Yep.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, man. We got to get in this Drusky skit, bro. We got to get into this, man. Let's play a little bit of this.
Oh yeah, man. This is yeah, let me see that. This was crazy. He got a lot of backlash off of this, bro. I don't think he should have, but I think, let me check it out, man. This nigga Drusky is crazy.
Do you want a revolution? I'm gonna have Wanda stand up here. Wanda, please. Wanda told us earlier this month that she could not have a baby anymore. So I impregnated her with the word of God. I'm going to impregnate everyone with the word of God. You gonna get pregnant with the word of God. You gonna get pregnant with the word of God. You gonna get pregnant with the word of God. Impregnate. I had somebody in the congregation ask why I'm wearing Christian Dior and Christian Louboutins. Because I'm a Christian and I walk in the blood of Jesus. Give him some praise. I'm a Christian first and I walk in the blood of Jesus. Give him some praise. Give him some praise. So we are raising funds for a project in Zimbabwe. Yes, we are trying to get our congregation over in Africa. Amen. We wanted to raise $4 million for that. Amen. Hallelujah. That needs to appear today. We are not letting anyone leave until we reach our goal. Amen. Hallelujah. Life savings here. Give him some praise for that. Give it his life savings of it. Apostle Richie says, baby, can you help me? I said, can you help me? I said, can you help me? I'm gonna finish this word here, and I'm gonna do the Christian version. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna do the Christian version. I'm driving this Bentley Bentayga because I believe in Christ. Can you leap on your legs like a survivor? Can you leap on your legs till the money fall out your pocket? Jesus, you are, Jesus, you are, Jesus, you are.
Still praise the Lord.
I need you to pray for my wife. Hey, come on, man. Hey, get your hands off my car. You gave tithes and offering? No. Back the fuck up, man. What's wrong with you, man?
Man, Drusky, huh? Bro, what's your thoughts on that, man?
What
Just
you
that thing went viral. What's your thoughts on that whole skit right there?
Man, it's crazy. He said 4 million something in the video, and he got 4 million something views, bro. I don't know where to start at, bro. That dude is hilarious, bro. He is hilarious for that. I think he's creative as hell, bro. He's got some he's creative. I think with social media guys like that, bro, they only go off of what they see. You feel me? So I mean, like, you can't you I don't know, man. He's funny, man. He's funny. I like the creativity within the video, man. I don't think he's personally, I don't think he's mocking the church. I don't think he's doing anything to go against God or anything like that, or doing any blasphemy things. Man, what do you think, man? I want to hear what you think about this, dude.
When I saw it, I thought it was funny. But I think it shed light on what's happening in the church, which is very, very troublesome. You know, the church is supposed to not look like the world, but as you can see, all the characteristics of the world. And for someone from the outside looking in, you can't tell the difference. So you give a bad rep. And it's a lot of people who supposedly go to church. They didn't know this was happening in the churches. And I saw a compilation of, different churches, videos of people actually doing this in their congregation. So shout out to Drusky. I think he shed a lot more light on these practices. Like you said, I think he's just doing what he's seen or what's on social media. And, the church got to do a better job of who they're representing and stop trying to be entertainment and actually just bring the word. I have this conversation.
I never seen that, bro. I never seen that in church growing up. Like, I never seen that. I never seen too much entertainment. I think we had praise and worship. After church we played basketball. I didn't never see like what I'm seeing in today's churches now, bro. Like, the designer clothes in church. Like, it's not even about it being in church. It's just, I don't know, bro. It's weird to me about seeing all these young pastors come up and having all this Gucci, having all this stuff. When I don't think a lot of people know that a church is a nonprofit, bro, non-taxed. So your pastor is like showing you what he's doing. Some of them, yeah. Yeah, so some of them are. So your pastor's like showing you what he's doing with these funds. Like, especially if you driving a Bentley Bentayga or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? He's pretty much flashing in your face what he's doing with your money rather than having new bathrooms around a church or new programs around a church or new, things going on for the church or doing things for the community, bro. I think he exposed the new age churches, bro. I think he exposed the new age churches, and not necessarily exposure as far as aha. I think he really is just like you say, like he's laughing at him never seeing this in church, and he grew up in church. Like, this is funny to me too. It's funny to me to see somebody flying through church like a helicopter. Like, the only time I seen people flying through the sky was at a circus. Not even like that, but I'm saying with that type of like setup. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like
yeah.
at that type of like venue. I only seen it at a circus. I used to go to the black circus. They used to fly over us, do little stuff like that, like cool little stuff. But in a church, what are you doing? Like in it that is crazy, bro. I always wondered at my church growing up, bro, just being 100% honest, and I had to find this out as an adult. Um, why was so many homeless people at our church? Why was so many crackheads at our church? Why was so many people who were battling drugs off our church? I mean, at our church. And it just so happened that my grandfather was overcoming an addiction with drugs. I didn't find that out until I got older. But you are who you hang around. You are who you get what I'm saying? You are who you lead. You get what I'm saying? So that's the way I look at the new age churches. Like if you wearing Dior and you doing all this stuff, you definitely taking this money you sending and you doing a lot of other stuff behind closed doors. And that could be just me just like judging and going off of the way that I've been to church and the way that church has been presented to me. But I've never seen church in the way that it is in today's time. COVID had a lot to do with messing that up, messing up the mindset of church, messing up all type of stuff like that, man. But yeah, that's it's a funny video, man. He's got definitely creativity. He's only going off of what he sees, so y'all be careful of what y'all putting out there.
And also at the same time, because you got to give ownership. There is a lot of new people in the church, right? There's a lot of new people or people who want to, at some point in time, they don't know, they want to have a relationship with God. This makes them question it even more, which is very unfortunate. And then you have people in the church who, this is why they also get taken advantage of. They don't read the word for themselves. They go to church and this is their very first time hearing a message or hearing somebody. And because they don't know what's actually being said in the word, and there's people who've been in the church who still don't know what's actually been in the word. They've been going for years. That they are living a certain lifestyle or a certain way because they're not being challenged. They're only being entertained. So you got to go somewhere where there's growth and you're going to be challenged, not necessarily by people all the time, but by the word. And if the word is not challenging you, then you're not growing. You're comfortable where you're at, and you need to take a look in the mirror. But man, shout outs to Drusky, for shedding light. I saw it in a different way, but shedding light on those things, man. Definitely, he shed
Yeah,
light.
I also, man, bro, it's crazy. I seen a pastor respond to that. What
I
do you
saw
think
two of
about
them.
that?
I saw two of them.
Yeah, what do you think about that, bro?
I have no thoughts about it at all, bro. I have none at all. At all. Because there was one was like, was he supposed to be referring to me? Like, and another person was like, I thought it was funny. Like, he's like, I don't think he was making mockery of the church. He's like, this is what's going on in the church. So, you feel me?
Man, it's two different perspectives. Am I judging to say the one that got hurt is felt more attacked than the one that said, I understand what he's seeing?
Well, the one who got attacked, supposedly he had that same outfit on, but they don't know. He said he said he wasn't. He was photoshopped into that. So don't know what's true or what's not. But at the end of the day, none of that stuff matters. But the word. That's why. Like I've heard this so many times. People in the church, they be like, I don't go to church because people, they sinning or they doing this, they doing that. You're not in the church for the people. You're in the church for God. Now, you're supposed to fellowship because everybody falls short, even the pastor. And people got to understand it. Like, oh, man, I know what he's doing. This is very unfortunate. I don't know what that person's doing. It's very unfortunate, but you think that this person is supposed to save you. No man can save you. And people got to stop looking at this way. Stop looking at a man because he's in a position that he don't make mistakes, especially if he's a shepherd leading you as sheep. Now, you would hope and pray that he can lead you the best he can, but ultimately, you should be looking at his relationship with the Lord. All these things about what a pastor should look like is in the Bible, but once again, people don't read. You can tell just off of it says if a pastor's family is not in order, he shouldn't be leading. So therefore, if you go to a church and his family ain't together, you shouldn't be there. You ain't got to say nothing to nobody. You should go, but people don't read for themselves. It's all these things that's in the Bible, but people are, oh man, he took advantage of me. No, you did because you wanted to be ignorant.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, anybody what a pastor says it's irrelevant. What does that word say? that's what matters at the end of the day.
Yeah, straight out, because that is the leader to where, that is the destiny to where you to what you're supposed to be living and how you're supposed to be living.
Exactly. I'm not, nobody's perfect. There was one church I was in Tennessee, and a pastor, this is, man, hands down, he said, hey, I'm stepping down for a while. He said, me and my wife is going through some issues right now. I'm stepping down in service. I'm like, oh man, I'm like, oh, this is the real deal. Holyfield. He didn't need to go into details what was going on. His wife was there. He said this in front of the whole congregation. It's not a big church, mind you. Man, I went up to him, man. I said, I respect you because I know what it says in the word. It says that. And he did exactly what the word said. And he's like, man, I don't know, I don't know if I'm ever going to come back to preach again. But for you to do that and humble yourself in front of that congregation, what's going on privately in front of that congregation, tips hat off to that gentleman. I respect him even more. Not everybody's doing that. There's people who's cheating on their wives, or their wives are cheating on them, and they are in the congregation or not in the congregation on that pulpit and acting like everything is okay. Everybody's human at the end of the day.
Oh man, I didn't seen it, man. Oh man, that is crazy. You say that. It's amazing that you say that because a lot of what they go through, God gives them sermons to preach to us about. I'm not gonna say God give it to them. They come up with these sermons. They come up with these sermons to preach about. I'm not gonna say God gave it to them, but that's the psyche that they throw on the church. You know what I'm saying? God put this on my heart. God did this when in all actuality, this is something you're dealing with, and somebody else is dealing with it as well, and it's hard for you to let that go. So you throw the blame on God and say, God put this on my heart, rather than saying, I am a failure at this situation. I apologize that I've put myself here, and I'm apologizing to everybody up here. Just as you said, that pastor did that. Man, I didn't have people pray for me, bro. I didn't have people lay hands on me, bro, who were talking about same-sex marriage, same-sex this, same-sex that, fornicating in the church, being married, all for this person to be going, all for the church to be shut down because this person is investing in people within the church doing things that are not of the church and not of God. You know what I'm saying? So I understand where you coming from as far as somebody could be sitting up there faking a funk, putting on a facade. The thing about it is, man, I just with some of those things I question, bro. And this is our question: did some of those spirits jump off of those people onto me without me noticing, with what they're going through, and things like that? Those are the things that I kind of question with something that somebody else is going through because of what they're going through in that situation, and me being in that present moment. Of seeking for just seeking for something But then somebody doesn't have that holy hand to necessarily help me with what I'm seeking for. So I've been there before, bro. I've been there before. And that's a sad place to be. I don't wish that on anybody. But like you said, we all fall short. You know what I'm saying? We all fall short, and I'm not here to judge anybody, but what I am here to say is be real with God first. Ultimately, be real with yourself and be real with God first. And it's a lot easier for you to just present it to other people because God has given you the answer. God has given you the understanding. He's giving you the basis of the situation. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I feel about the situation.
And also, this is the last thing for people to be like, oh man, I don't need to go to church. I have this conversation with my boy. He's like, man, I don't need to go to church. I don't need to be there. It says, man, you need a fellowship, because you need someone to lean on. You need somebody to correct you. We talked about it when you by yourself, isolated, your thoughts, if they're not right, you can be. That's one of the worst things, and that's how the enemy actually use your own thoughts against you. Um, and you need people to uplift you. Also need people to correct and rebuke you. But if you don't have those people around, um, you're gonna fall to your own destruction. So this is why you need to get around fellowship, right? The correct fellowship. And that's not always at the church. You can fellowship with people outside of the church. Fellowship is you getting with others, two or three, and you in the midst and you talking about things of the Lord and how to correct some things or how to do something. But you got to get around other people and not isolate yourself and think, oh, I can do this life all by myself. That's the reason why you're in the situation you're in now. Whoever's watching it, because you're trying to do everything on your own. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's get into flag or no flag, man. I think these are some good ones, some funny ones. This is a good one for you. I don't like pets, but is it a flag or no flag to have a dog on your bed?
Why you say it's good for me? Don't single me out like that.
Because
You say it's good for
you
you.
like dogs, right? I don't like no pets. So me personally, I never had a dog a day in my life. My family has, but not me.
Yeah, I love dogs, man.
See?
I love dogs. All right, wait. You said what is it?
Flag or no flag to have a dog on your bed?
On your bed?
On your bed. On it. Like he got like, hey,
you got
come
your
on.
own bed. You got your own dog bed, brother. You're not getting up on my bed. I mean, what are you? My bad. What are you doing up here for? Like, man, nah, hell nah.
So it's a flag?
No, that is a flag.
Yeah.
That's a flag. What you think? Flag or no flag?
Oh,
If
definitely
you
a flag.
just so happen to have it,
Definitely a flag. And for people,
you just so happen to have a dog or a
this,
fish.
this is for people who, it's like, would you put your shoes, will you take your shoes off and put them on your bed? Because if you take the dog out for a walk, you taking your floor dirty, anything. Your floor dirty in the house. Are you gonna take your shoes off and put them on the bed? That's equivalent to a dog. I don't care how, if he never go outside, he use the bathroom, your floor is dirty. Do you get in the bed with your shoes on? You don't do that. That's why, man. That's a flag. That's a flag. Let alone anything that he step on outside. Yeah, nah. Having a dog in the house in general, me a flag. But hey, that's just my thoughts. But yeah, man.
You said a dog in the house is a flag?
For me, I like I said, I'm no pets at all. So to have a dog in the house, yeah, kill it.
Man, your kids gonna love pets.
They'll
And you
never
gonna have to
know.
get them.
Yeah, at the zoo. That's where they're gonna be at. At the zoo.
So you're gonna tell your kids, y'all better be zookeepers if y'all want to think them animals is y'all's.
Hey,
You better work at the zoo.
hey, you do that at your own house.
You ain't getting one at home?
Not on duty. Not on duty. And my wife is in agreement.
Straight out.
So this has been going on for years now. Flag or no flag, people not knowing how to iron or steam their clothes. This is a flag.
For you, that's a flag?
This is a flag. I know a lot of people. I was in the what are they? The corporate world where you got to wear suits and everything. People suits, people blouse be all wrinkled, just looking unprofessional. I'm like, you a grown person, you don't know how to steam iron your shirts. That's a flag, bro. That's a flag.
Yeah, I think that's a flag. I think that's a flag as far as a yeah, I think that's a flag. I think that's a flag. You know, what are you getting fresh for to be wrinkled? That's not fresh. Not even
But
trying to get fresh. You're wrinkled. Get out of here.
you gotta wear business attire. But this is not even business attire. Like, it's people who go out like that. Like, I literally know people, they don't even own an iron at all. I'm like, bro, you ain't gonna iron, bro. I ain't even got an iron. Do you know how to iron your clothes if you did? Bro, I don't even know how to do it. What's
See, I
going
know
on?
how to iron. I know how to iron. I just hang my clothes up
You hang them
and I
and do
take my
what though?
huh?
You hang them up and do what though?
Air dry on a hanger or take them to the cleaners.
So the cleaners, yes. Air dry them.
I wash
I
my
heard,
play clothes, like my play clothes. I wash like jeans and stuff. I'll take to the cleaners, and them would be. I don't even wear jeans that much, bro. So them would be good for.
see, the cleaners, that makes sense. Even when I air dry all my clothes, especially out in China, they still got to get iron. They still got to be steamed. Something. They
Not mine.
what? All right. So you say you hardly wear
I'm throwing
jeans.
a wrinkled shirt on. I'm throwing a wrinkled shirt on. I'm throwing a wrinkled shirt on. I don't.
So if
Sometimes
you go
I'm not going over business.
so if you going out though, if you going out, let's say you going to the bar, you put on a wrinkled shirt.
No, I can't have like a lot of wrinkles. It could be like 2 or 3 wrinkles. It can't be like a it can't be like chewed up paper.
Exactly, like balled up homework. Exactly. Can't
Like
be that.
brought up homework.
Can't be that. Yes. Exactly. And bro, I be seeing people out look like that. Like, oh man, it's gonna get better throughout the night. What are we talking about, man?
You
You
know it'd
looking
be funny?
crazy.
Cause their clothes be looking so small, but if you iron them, they fit. And you out here like with a muscle shirt on. If you iron that thing, boy, you know that shirt will be a white tee, extra large.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, bro, we
Yeah,
we
so
gotta bring these.
I think sometimes it's a flag for business, but it's not a flag for like just going out to the store or something like that. Like, but look, I'm gonna tell you like this: you're not finna get me with wrinkled pants and a wrinkled shirt. If something is wrinkled, one is gonna be wrinkled. I'm gonna have probably the most starched pants with a
The wrinkled
with a
shirt.
line and a wrinkled ass shirt.
If I'm going out, regardless, and I'm not talking about nothing sports related. I'm talking about going out like rather nighttime, or I gotta look at I
Yeah, to
gotta
like a
iron
dinner or to like an event.
anything like that. It gotta be iron or it gotta be steam. It has to. We gotta bring this back in high school. We gotta bring back life skills. We gotta teach people how to iron. Unfortunately, we gotta teach people how to iron or steam their clothes because it's a lot of grandmothers who don't even know how to do that. So you know their kids, their grandkids not gonna learn.
But Ernest, this is also something else you gotta understand, bro. Like being in that culture, bro, they're buying their clothes the same day and wearing them. They're not
That's
necessarily like
that's true, and that's why also they ain't got no money. So what we talking about?
hey, I'm telling they that's why shoot. I ain't talking about their finances. They had enough to go buy something for that night. And that's why they don't need no iron because they do it every time they go out. So that's how I feel some people do. Like some people just go buy a new outfit, bro, rather than having to spend the time ironing the stuff that they already have.
Yeah, and we gonna keep. Then don't say you can't afford something. Then we don't want to hear it. That's another issue in itself. Another issue in itself right there. I I got another one. Because I just thought about this. I never thought about this. Is it a flag? Is it a flag to wear your clothes you wore for the day? and lay down on your bed or in your bed with the same clothes on?
Where you at? You in the office working all day? Yeah. Like if you outside. So for me, I always like when I get on my bed, I'll put on a whole new everything. When I get off my bed and I'm about to go do something else, I'll put back on what I had. You feel what I'm saying? So like I don't like my bed is like really the only time I go to my room is to sleep, bro. I don't even have a TV in my room. And everybody is different, bro. So everybody's totally different. So I just for me, if I got some pants on that I've been wearing all day and I'm just sitting on the bed, I might just sit on the bed, but you're not about to get me to fall asleep and everything or just lay down on my bed after I just came from a workout or something like that. Yeah, so that's a flag if you coming home from like a workout or something like that. I feel like if you're working inside an office, if you're working inside like if you're working inside the office and you got like a 2-hour nap, like a 2-hour break or something like that, and you come home and take a nap with the same clothes on, I don't think it's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, what brought my attention to this, and I never, like I said, I never thought about this, but I play with my kids, and somebody was at the playground, and they had some like the Lysol, and this is like a little after COVID, and they were spraying the playground set, and it made me think. I'm like, the amount of germs that's here at this playground, and you feel me, and going down a slide and doing all this stuff with your kids, and the kids get on the bed, whether they sleep or not, they just hop on the bed, or you get in the bed. I'm like, all these germs is going on the bed. So I think it's a flag. I wasn't aware, but I think it's a flag though, because your bed, for the most part, is a sacred place, should be clean. But if you think about the dog, you think about your clothes outside. Like there's people who sit on the benches, or they sit at a restaurant to eat lunch. You don't know who's sitting there. You don't know how much they clean the stuff, right? All this stuff. I think is a flag, because your bed should be one of the most sacred and clean places. But if you out in the world and you carrying all that stuff back home and lay down or sit down, your bed is like almost like tainted now. So I think it's a flag. Definitely.
Yeah, man, that's ridiculous. Yeah, that's why people be waking up in the middle of the night.
So let me ask you this: do you think it's a flag or no flag to eat in your bed, snacks or not?
Yeah. Yes. I don't even eat up. I don't even eat upstairs.
Yeah.
You'll probably see me eat a handheld food upstairs, something that I can walk around and hold, and you're not about to see me laying in my bed with bags of McDonald's sitting around me. Nigga, bags of chips sitting around me. You will not catch me on 600-pound life. You will not catch me living like that. Get out of here. I'm not about kill it. That's dangerous, bro. I think you eating in your room, having a TV in your room is just a little
setting yourself up for failure.
A little distracting.
Yeah, setting yourself up for failure.
You're a little distracted.
Yeah,
a little distracted.
Sure. Now, I definitely hear you on that TV. I remember I could never sleep. As soon as I took the TV out the bedroom, best sleep I ever had, bro. Best sleep.
Yeah, that's how I am. I used to have nightmares. I used to have crazy dreams. I used to sleepwalk. I used to do all kind of stuff, bro. Like, and I think it was just because what was coming through the TV.
So what are you watching then? That might be different. What you watching? Goosebumps?
You have no control of what's coming on if you just now the TV goes to whatever. Sometimes the TV go to whatever channel, and don't be laying on the remote and you accidentally turn the channel to somewhere and turn up the volume and you gotta, man, come on, bro. I done had so many nightmares of people that was standing over me and they wasn't there, and I'm watching the show and there's somebody standing over somebody in the show. I'm like, what the hell? Man, I used to sleepwalk and open the front door.
Wow, yeah.
I used to sleepwalk and open the front door, man. I used to have my mom used to come up. My mom used to be like, "Boy, you need to figure it out. You need to figure it out." That
Yeah.
sleepwalking ain't no joke, man. But like, it has a lot to do with what you're listening to before you go to sleep, type of
Yep.
conversations you having through the day. But then again, I don't think my mind rests, bro, and I don't know how to rest my mind. I do my best to try to relax myself and put my just be as relaxed as I can, bro. But I don't think my mind sleeps, bro. I honestly think it does, but it only sleeps for a few hours. My body rests longer than my mind.
Mhm. But I got one more topic, and this might be controversial right here. Do you think do you think trauma can be causing autism?
Wait, say that again.
Do you think trauma can be causing autism?
For parents or the kids?
Anybody?
I think for both, bro. I think that's a new experience for the parents, and I think for the kids, um it's the only way that a kid knows how to be, and it's the way a kid was blessed to be. Um I think with the kid just has to deal with that, and the kid doesn't fully understand his or her capabilities. But I think as a parent, that it comes because you think about a lot of stuff that you did in life, and you want to blame it on that, or you just want to ask why. You just want to question why, like how did I have a kid as such? Why did I have a kid as such? How did God put something in my life like this? But bro, I've like invested in this community of autistic children, bro, and I honestly think, bro, there will be trauma, but I think it's more positive trauma than on a negative side of things. I think the positive trauma is you understanding that you have to be in this situation, um, and working through it and continuously working through it as a parent. Because, like I said, it's not like a kid is just gonna come and say, "I'm autistic. I'm autistic." So, a kid is just how they are. You know what I'm saying?
So what
So, a
I
kid
mean
is
by
not.
that, what I mean by that though is like the reason why or what caused the child to be autistic because the parent has had trauma in their life, and
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
that
See.
trauma in that trauma in their life could be altering that baby's whatever, right? Don't know. I'm just saying, is it possible now when the baby comes out? Because trauma for everybody can be very stressful. There's some people who've dealt with trauma and it went away, or they still dealing with it. So now it's creating other issues in their body, but they don't know because there's no physical signs. But internally, there's stuff going on that can now go to the child because of that trauma, which can, like I said, in some form or way, not form whatever
Yeah.
molecules or whatever,
Yeah.
make it
Or
whole
it
because
could be a missing piece because it could. Okay. So and I get vulnerable here because my mom always told me, man, I had the worst pregnancy with you because all me and your dad did was argue. We never had happy
you feel
days. We
me.
never had right. So somewhere along those arguments, I missed love. Somewhere,
And you
somewhere.
can hear it too as a baby too in a
Yeah.
mother's womb.
Right. So for me, as a kid, all I did was grow up and ask why. My parents wanted to slap the hell out of me. They wanted to, you feel me? But for that was a sign from God to get them to understand that he has this, Aaron has this because of what you guys caused through how you made him.
Mhm.
Now, however long he chooses to deal with this, however long I decide to give him clarity as a man of God, or however long he takes to realize these things, however long he decides he wants to fight with his flesh, now that's on him. But I feel like, bro, having a podcast, always talking, always feeling like I have information or I can help somebody out and be a resource, that that came from always having arguments. Like somebody always arguing. Tell you just like this. Every single relationship I've been in, I've always argued. Every single relationship. Every girl could tell you, every single girl. So if you're asking about trauma, yes. To answer the question, yes. And this is coming from somebody who, like you said, I might be autistic and I don't know, and I'm an adult. I stress for things, and I'm asking you, what is stress? But I might be stressing. I might have been stressing my whole last 90 days.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what stress looks like, but you get what I'm saying? So yes, bro, I honestly think what you go through honestly has an effect on your child in that time. Like for me, bro, like I'm gonna be straight up and honest with you, bro. If I decide that I want to go and have a baby out of wedlock right now, I probably am gonna be a learning parent, a very learning parent, but I don't think with how I'm feeling, how I am, how I've been through these ups and downs, these small paths that I've had, I don't think is the time. But if I just so happen to do that, I personally think my seed will go through everything that I just faced.
Mm-hmm.
That's me. That's just how I feel. And that could be that it could be something, and we always have these conversations. It could be something in the word that leads up to me saying something like that, and I just gotta go find it to know that, oh, I knew I was on the right path. I just didn't know that it was right here, dead smack in the word.
Yeah.
Because like you said, people don't read their word. So I think, bro, trauma does come with that. And that's just to give you a small example on what I went through, bro. Like, and the type of person that I am, and the anger that I have, and the problem that I have with anger, and how when I do get mad or when I do get angry, I'm not walking away. I'm not going away. I'm not putting my son. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
So where does that come from? Those are a lot of the questions that I ask myself as an adult, as a man. Where do those things come from? I don't blame it on them, but I just put things into perspective. I just really put things into perspective. If you know that as a parent, you have to now be a better parent to maneuver through these things of knowing how this child might be. If I know I was cheating on my wife the whole time, how in the world can I expect not to have a gay son or a gay daughter?
Wait, nah. I don't know if it correlates to that.
Bro, it doesn't correlate to that, but what I'm saying is
I know.
you're going to have something that you might not want.
Yeah, I understand.
You're going to have something that you might not want because you're going against the will of what you're really supposed to be doing.
Yeah, but it also say, you know,
I just go to the extremities. I go to the deepest of the deep. Like, yeah, well, that's why that happened, because you thought, and I'm not saying for it to blame, but what I'm saying
I know what
is
you're saying. I know
everything has to do with timing. Like everything has to do with timing, bro. I think you never know when you're going through something, but you also never know when you fully get over something. So how do you know if you're not leading somebody into trauma, or you're leaving the trauma where this person doesn't get affected?
Yeah. So you know, to go off what you're saying, right? If you know, if a parent, if you know, they're cheating and then their child turns out a certain way, right? That's a little different, because them turning out a certain way is because you didn't guide them,
That's
or
flesh.
you didn't raise them a
Flesh.
certain way, right?
Yeah.
But your child coming out a certain way, they're the only one that could do anything about that is God, right? At the ultimate, like there's people who can't get pregnant, who can't have kids. So
Right.
You having a kid and they come out a certain way, that's out of your control at all. So I believe, right, and you know, it's not about believing, because it's a scenario. Not everybody gets a vaccination shot. People who do get vaccinated doesn't mean they're gonna have autism. People who eat certain things right doesn't mean they're gonna have the thing is though, everybody deals with trauma at some point in their life though. And it's crazy because there's parents who are not in their kids' life, but someone who knows their parents like, man, you act just like your dad or your mom. So therefore, there's some
And
traits.
that is the worst.
Yeah, there are some traits now that's in you, and you may not even know your
You don't even know.
biological parents, and you have these traits in them. So why wouldn't you still have that stress that's in their body, especially if you're coming from their body? So I think it's just an interesting topic, and like you said, I don't think it has anything with parents and have to parents better. I think parents have to heal. I think they have to.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying like timing and stuff too, like timing. And you say it in a more elaborative way. I just say I just say it in more of a way, like a more helpful way, like timing. Shoot, I think if you're going through something, you let your partner know you're going through something and give me about 6 or 7 months. So that way, if we do try to make an inheritance, we have no, you feel me? Or
But it's
we
some
want to
people
make.
but it's some people who are ignorant too. They are going through something. Like there's people who have had a traumatic life, and I'm over that. But you know, we talked about getting married. You're marrying somebody's history, and once they get married, all the things that they went through as a child comes out now. They was not married prior to, so they wouldn't know what was there. But if now they get married,
Yeah.
all these things come out. So people don't know what they've been. You know, some people know. Some people understand what
Yeah,
they've
like
been
I
through.
said, remember I
They hide
asked
it.
you? Yeah,
They
remember I
hide
said
it.
I
But
don't know if
it's
I'm stressed.
yeah, it's some people who is I don't know why I'm like this, but therefore you need to get some assistance. You need to reach out. You need to educate yourself on these things.
Yeah.
So that's where the help comes. I think, and that of course that's loving yourself, right? And what does love look like? Loving yourself, that's in a whole different way for everybody else, but loving yourself first, and then get the healing. And that's gonna, like you said, that's gonna take time. But I think this is when we talked about this is why relationships are not working, because it's hurt people getting with hurt people, which continue to hurt people and to generate more kids who are hurt, and the cycle continues to go on rather than two healthy individuals. We're not talking about perfect. We're not talking about who have everything together. We're just talking about healthy, which now
Healthy.
when conflict arise, we're able to communicate
Know how to
effectively.
deal with it. We know how to
When
bounce off each other.
yeah, when things happen, we are able to work together and
Yeah.
not be
In a healthy
detrimental.
way.
Yeah. So we're not talking about people who are perfect. We're just talking about people who are able to
Understand each other. People who are
understand and be
compassionate and
cognitive. Yeah. Be
yeah.
cognitive of,
Yes.
we don't have it together. We're going to have issues. Let's work it out rather than, oh, I just keep spazzing out and that's okay. That's not okay behavior. You need help. You shouldn't be beating somebody because you feel misunderstood. You shouldn't be drinking because you stress. These are not healthy things. These are not healthy habits, right? And people are like, oh, that's something I do. Something you do and you do it over time is what you are. You so we this is like, man, it's a bigger thing, but it's an interesting topic if trauma could possibly be causing autism, because it shouldn't. This is at an alarming rate that kids are being born autistic.
And that's not only in it. I hate to I know we on this topic, but it's not only autism. Other things have occurrences. Other things like they could be schizophrenia.
Yeah,
It could be. You get what I'm saying? So I don't want our viewers. I don't want the people thinking like, oh, this is just a conversation of just, oh, well, this is just a because he works with because Aaron works with, or he's worked around autistic children, and he this is his opinion. No. Anything can happen from trauma. We just specified that what if an autistic child, or what if a parent was to have an autistic child from trauma? Is that a possibility? And I think we are in agreement on that. So I agree. I agree, and I think man, I think it's very unfortunate, but then again, like bro, like man, this is also another thing I also noticed. Like, we as a culture, we as a people, white, black, green, it doesn't matter. We have to stop being in a rush. Like, even me myself, like, I want to have kids. I want to have kids bad, bro. But do I have anybody to have them with? I'm not going out forcing myself. I'm not going out just willy nilly dilly and flying all over SeaWorld. I'm not doing it. So for me, I'm a work in progress myself. I would hate to meet somebody on what I'm going through at this moment and to bring a child in the world. Man, I don't want to create I don't honestly, like you said, we want health. We want to create the healthiest people that we want to be around the healthiest people we can be. You know what I'm saying? So those traumas have effects, bro. And I think, yeah, it just, if you're an adult dealing with that type of trauma, and you think God is your therapist, I think you honestly need to go outside of what you feel a therapist is. You need to, you need to be heard. You need to be heard out in a different way to where if you're feeling that way and you have that trauma, I just feel like you sit in front of somebody, and even if you feel like these people are there just to sit on couches. That's why they make these places so comfortable. Go in there and talk to these people about what you're going through. Get small educational background bases on what you're going through, man. Like, it's certain answers that God is waiting to give you, but it's answers that you need and you want right now. Like, and some of those answers you can go out and get yourself rather than just sitting around. And I'm saying this as I am a work in progress, working on this myself. I'm not telling you this like I have all this together or speaking on it like I have it together. This is something that I'm working on as much as I can work on. You know what I'm saying? So, man, like, even if y'all want to come on here and be vulnerable, man, we'll edit it out for y'all. We'll edit it out for y'all if it get a little too little heartbreaker. But man, come on here and let us know, man, like what, just how these talks are important, man, because some people are going through some things that they don't have anybody to talk to. Man, and me and Ernest, man, we aren't giving everybody, but we're giving you all a platform to voice your opinions and to have those conversations if you want them. You know what I'm saying? That's what we want to be a safe space for you. We a safe space for each other. We can talk about just about everything. We're holding each other accountable. And knowing that at the end of the day, if you're not reaching out to God or you're not reaching to God, you're gonna be lost in this world. So I think, yeah, man, I think with a lot of trauma that I have, I'm not gonna take it into my family just because I'm addressing it without adding more flags on my own culture. If that makes sense, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So yeah, man, I like that you asked that, man, because it's a lot of people. It's some new parents, it's some fresh parents who might have kids that are autistic, and they like, look, dude, I'm giving this kid away. I can't do it. I'm gonna give up. Like, I'm not, and
Real talk.
I'm serious.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, I'm not laughing. I'm serious as hell. It's some kids that I didn't want to take from their parents, and I'm like, I'm better off for them than you are because your lack of patience or your lack of understanding or this, that, and the other. Bro, for me, it's just like,
oh, we got to talk about that. I don't know if we're going to talk about it next time, but we got to talk about it because I have a boy and Ryan Davis was on Shannon Sharp's podcast. He talked about how his son is autistic and the mother was finding it hard, that her son was autistic because she's looking at the view like, oh, they're gonna make fun of my kids. And I also got a boy like that. His son is, and he's seeing it more so from the viewpoint of, oh man, what are they going to talk about my son, rather than what is his experience going to be like and how does he see the world, the son.
That's what you see. What I said.
You feel me?
You see what I said the first thing.
So I try not to be personal, but my son was diagnosed with autism. My son is 5. He's definitely functioning, definitely smart. Certain things he's just, but I already had a daughter prior, and my son was doing things early, but certain things he wasn't doing. I'm like, man, something is going on. But the worry, the stress was never about how anybody saw my son. It was like, this is, for me, my thought, this is not a handicap. I don't see him this way. I'm going to show him up to whatever he's able to do, that he can do it. And people don't see things that way. Like, they like, oh man, they gonna make fun of him, this and that. That was never a thought. I can care less what any.
No,
I can
that's a
care less
give up
what anybody.
mentality.
Yeah, I don't care what anybody thinks about me yet. Then still what they think about my son. So I just know my son. It ain't gonna be like, oh, you gotta treat him less than or
No,
a certain way just
no,
because of this. Nah. If it's people
no.
who see my son, they would even know anything is wrong. Unless you're around him for a long period
But
of time.
you bring that up. But you bring that up, bro, and there's some parents, like you said, that don't even understand how to kind of cope with kids like that, bro. And the simple fact that you have that understanding, I don't know if that is on both sides, but that understanding right there is gonna get you further than some parents that don't even have that understanding. You know
For
what I'm
sure.
saying? And it's not, bro. I hate to even say it like this, bro. Bro, they have their own category because of what they're diagnosed with. They're still humans.
Yeah, for sure.
They better than us. They better than us.
They definitely got a skill set.
They're better than the normal person who, okay, how about this? They're better than the person that thinks they're normal.
Oh, for sure. It's like they got a superpower.
Yes, bro. Have you seen that TV show?
There's a movie called The Accountant. The Accountant, y'all check it out. The dude, what's his name? I just saw him last night. Ben Affleck. He's this accountant. He know how numbers and everything, but he know how to do all this stuff, and he also know, and he was trained to kill, and he like one of the best at numbers, and he just look at something, he be like, oh, the numbers off, and they're like, how do you know? Bro, it's a dope movie. He posed diagnosed with autism, and he as a kid, but as he got older, he's functioning. That's how these kids are, and they truly gifted at something we just don't know because society we deem it as, oh yes, they not normal. Man, my son, he can look at something and leave it and come back and put it back together looking at it one time. I can't even do that. So, we say that these kids, no, they're not special. We just don't understand what it is exactly of how they see things.
No, you don't understand. Not you, but they don't understand a special ability.
Yes,
and that's
exactly.
The thing. Like, but here's the thing about it too, though. Here's another thing that I noticed, bro. With autistic children and people who aren't on the spectrum, it takes us harder times to find our gifts than for an autistic child. For us as parents, or for us as mentors, or for us as teachers, it takes us 5 seconds or spending an hour with a kid figuring out what this kid's gift is versus to me figuring out what my own gift is. And I'm like not saying that I don't have a gift or nothing like that, but if a kid is playing the piano looking away or off
at
some
3 years old, yeah.
If he's doing, come on, dude. This come on now. So it's just certain things, bro. And you awesome, bro. You awesome. Your perspective is awesome. And you actually like knowing that, bro, is very like, man, like I already told you a wise dude, bro. But having that, I appreciate you, bro, just for, having the vulnerability just to, ask those questions and just to put it out there, because that's what we want, man. Those are the conversations we want to have. And the biggest thing is, bro, how does a kid know that he has a special disability? Does somebody make fun of it, or does somebody encourage it? How does a kid know that he is a special disabled kid? Does somebody always say this? Are you making fun of this at home? Let me tell you something. I wasn't the best kid growing up in school, but every time I came home, guess who reminded me that I was the dumbest one in the house? Everybody.
Start at home. Start at home.
So just figure out what type of trauma you're gonna throw on your children and how you're speaking to your children before you turn around and place blame and say, you did this on your own, or you were this. I guarantee if my kid brought 6 Fs home, he'll never go back to school.
Mm-hmm. Allegedly, I don't
He would
know if
never
it's
be
confirmed. Allegedly, I don't know if it's confirmed, but Jeremiah Love, who plays for Notre Dame, who's going to go into the draft this year, it was posted on social media that he was diagnosed with autism at a young age. He's about to go to the NFL. So
Yeah, that's what I heard. But they like look at him. Where's his special? What is it? You can't look at him and say, oh, he's off the walls or he's off the spectrum or
yeah,
anything like that.
but we don't know because there's different spectrums to it, right? But we don't know how it was also presented once supposedly he was diagnosed. How his parents went about it, like, hey, we gonna treat it as such and as love. Other than that, nah, you feel me? Because it all depends on how the parents reacting and if they want to truly, help them out. Definitely, truly want to help out the kid. Like you said, it starts at home. How they seen how they love you.
Yeah,
Love them like
man.
a
It
regular
started at
person.
home, man.
Yeah, if you love them like a regular person, none of that stuff will matter what the world say. The world is cruel if you not special. the world gonna say
Well, yeah,
something
the world
about
gonna
you.
be cruel to you. It's rich.
Yeah. So
They don't
you,
care. The world gonna say something about you. If you rich, poor, broke, they gonna say something anyway. So you gotta have that confidence and self belief within your own self, man. And last thing on that topic, man, I personally think that I know that this is a great topic and I know that this could help a lot of people out. Um, but the word we brought up was trauma, man. And if you have trauma and you don't understand, if you're questioning if you have trauma, you have it. You just got to figure out where it is and you got to figure out how to assess it. Um, every time I talk to Ernest, he always say, "Man, did you read your word?" And I feel bad because I'm like, "Dang, I guarantee if I read it, I wouldn't be talking to him about this. I wouldn't have this complaint. I wouldn't even be saying this because, and it's not like, yes, it's a challenge, but he turns around and says, um, well, if you read in your word, you got more acknowledgement of making those decisions for yourself. So now it's no longer between the devil and it's no longer between God. This is you making that decision for yourself. So it's a lot of us that have to understand and with them telling me that, like I said, I'm working on it. I always work on it. But man, y'all gotta, man, we want y'all to be we want y'all to be taken care of and we want y'all to understand. Man, everybody has a little bit of trauma, but do your best on how to deal with it. Who do you go to if you have trauma from your parents? Do you go to your parents? But what if your parents don't want to talk about the trauma? What if your parents are traumatic still? You know what I'm saying? So man, it's a lot, man. So that's what we open up this podcast for. So for y'all to have a voice, we don't want y'all coming on here just, trauma bonding and, trauma dumping and things like that. But for some good episodes, it's good to kind of hear some people's stories just to help other people out because some people think that everybody is all good. They think because I'm funny that I don't go through stuff. They think because I got jokes, I don't go through stuff. They think because it looked good and it's all put together that it is all put together every single time you see me. But far from it. I do my best every day, man, and I don't do my best to fake the funk. I do my best to be a realist. I do my best to be a real person. I do my best to show gratitude. You know what I'm saying? So, man, that's how I feel about it, man.
facts, man. This was a lot, bro. Definitely great. This is gonna be one of those ones, bro. One of the ones. Great info, some great topics, man. Bro, you guys flag on the culture, man. Y'all continue to show love. Appreciate the support. Our next video, man, we're gonna have a special guest. Y'all be on the lookout for that, man. But continue to like, subscribe, share with your friends, man. And definitely continue to spread the word. Continue to spread the word.
Oh yeah, flag on the culture. Thank y'all for chiming in, man. Coach Ernest, thank you, man.
Yes, sir. All right, Aaron. Talk to you, my guy.
Mhm.